Hello Flosstube, my name's Amy Michelle. This is my channel Amy M Makes, all about cross stitch, also about knitting and crochet, but I put that at the end of my videos, so if you're not interested in the yarn adventures that I have, no worries. Like I said, I'll put that at the end and you can watch if you'd like to see what I've been knitting and crocheting, or if you just are here for cross stitch. I'm thrilled to have you here for whatever part of the video you want to watch. If you're returning, thank you so much for returning. Sorry it's been months and months since my last video. Just busy. My mental health wasn't great. It was okay. I'm doing good. But it was a little bit of a struggle there for a little bit, and we were really busy with lots of trips and homeschool and preparing for the next year and all kinds of things like that. And I also lost my stitchy bug. I actually lost my knitting and crochet too. Like I kind of wasn't crafty for most of the summer. And so once fall came around, it started to come back, and I've been really enjoying cross stitching again, especially, but also knitting and crochet. So again, thank you for stopping by and watching a video. I hope that you find something that you enjoy, and we will get into it. I have finished objects, I have whips, and then there's knitting and crochet. The first finished object I have was from the Prairie Schooler Acorns. I'd finished these, well actually I started these, like looking at my notes, 2020, so they were a long-term whip, and I finished them in March 2024. I just did the crow and the pumpkin, I did this like leaf motif, and I did the schoolhouse, or the house, I'm guessing it's a schoolhouse because it says ABC and it kind of reminds me of like an old schoolhouse, and then the squirrel. I was thinking I would do the cornucopia and the little pilgrims, I think, but I decided I'm gonna call it and be done with those. So the first one that I have is the little house. Oh, and if I didn't say, it's the Prairie Schooler Acorns, and it just says ABC up here in the corner. And I got this cute little frame. It was in the kitchen section of Hobby Lobby, and just put some lace trim around it and finished that one. And then the other one that I finished was the leaf motif. I saw this cute little sign, again in the kitchen section of Hobby Lobby, on Java Girl Stitch's channel. I think her most recent Flosstube, she showed this sign, and I just thought it was adorable and it would fit these little teeny stitches perfectly. So I did those two. I have, again, the squirrel and the crow finished, but not fully finished yet. Hopefully maybe next weekend I'll get to those two stitches. And then the next one is from Heart and Hand. It's You and Me, or You Plus Me. And I did this stitch for Katie, the Novel Stitcher's, what months was it? July and August? No, June and July. June and July, yes, Stitches and Pages Book Club. And I changed all the colors just to use what I had in my stash, and put our anniversary in there, and it was a really fun stitch. It was a cute little pattern to work on, very easy. This is like the only stitching I did over the summer. I started and finished this and fully finished this in July, and yeah, that's about all the crafting that I did over July, August, most of September. It wasn't until the end of September, really when fall kicked around, that I like started getting back into cross stitching and crafting and stuff like that. So and then the next one I have is a digital pattern from Cherry Hill Stitchery. I'll put the picture up here, and it is called Strawberry Friends, and this is my finish. I've had this frame from Target for years, and I just put in a new sticky board. It's an 8x10, I think. And then I glued some ribbon and some garland around that one. And it's actually the same frame that I used for this one that I did, I don't know, back maybe February, maybe, the beginning of the year. And I just glue fabric around a piece of sticky board, and then I pop this into the frame, and then I can pull it out and switch for seasonal stitches in an affordable way. So that is what I did for this one. I think I may actually use this same frame for the last two of the Acorns projects and turn it, there's like one for vertical and one for horizontal. So I may turn it vertically and put them side by side, the little squirrel and the pumpkin on here. So I don't know, we'll see what I do, but those are the fully finished objects that I have. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I fully finished the last few yesterday actually, and had a good time. It was nice to be back. It's feeling good to be back in stitching, fully finishing, hopefully doing a Flosstube. Hopefully I'm not too rusty and it turns out okay. But yeah, there you go. Those are my fully finished objects. Okay, so I just realized I didn't tell you any of the fabrics or threads, flosses, or anything. So I'm gonna give you another quick recap on my projects. This one was on 25 count white Lugana. So that's the fabric for this one. It was all DMC threads that I had in my stash. If you are curious or you want to know any of the colors, you can leave a comment below and let me know. But it was just some random stuff that I had in my stash. And when I talk about stash, I'll show you this. This little cubby is my stash. So I don't have very much, but I have one box that's got a mix of DMCs and fancy floss. Sorry for the glare. So usually when I say out of my stash, this is what I mean. Okay, and then the other two, these guys were on 18 count Aida, Rustico or natural Aida. And it was tricky. I didn't know at the time that maybe 18 count you do one thread over two. I did two threads over two, and it was naughty a lot. It got kind of like stuck in the Aida and it didn't want to cooperate. This is another reason I decided I'm going to be done with these patterns. But they're cute, they're fun. I like this color. I think I would just try it, maybe one thread over one, and see what it looks like if I were to use it again. The threads are all the called for DMCs. And then the last one is 14 count Aida that was white that I coffee tea dyed, and a mix of Weeks Dye Work Onyx for the crows and the heart, and then all the rest is DMC 310 for the black, Blanc for the white, and then a mix of greens and reds and a yellow. And again, if you want to know specifically what threads I use, just leave it in the comments below and I will put it in the description of the video or something like that. So there you go. There's the info on the fabrics and the floss. Hopefully that helps. I have 4 whips that I've been working on. The first, well, been working on this. I worked on them early June, and then I didn't do anything except the You and Me stitch in July, and I didn't pick anything back up again until end of September, really the beginning of October. So yeah, there you go. The first one though that I worked on back before summer started was Patriotic Quaker by Primrose Cottage. And I made a good amount of progress. I think I hit pause on this one because I was running out of the, I don't know, I'll look at the fancy floss. The red one is a fancy floss. The white is Blanc, and then I'm using 3 different blues of DMC for the blues in there. So yeah, good progress. I don't have a whole lot of motivation to work on this, but I saw on Facebook that, I don't know why I didn't think of this, but it was such a good idea. Someone works on patriotic stitches the 4th of every month, and I thought, maybe I'll try giving that a go. Typically, I don't usually work on long-term whips unless I like am in the mood to stitch on them, but I thought maybe for this one, so I can get it done by next year, by next 4th of July, when I have such little left to do. That seems sad to like pull it out once a month, but I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking, is maybe once a month I'll pull this out and work on it to get it done. But yeah, I ran out of the fancy floss, which was Weeks Dye Works Cayenne. So I bought another one, and it kind of is the same, which I understand, like different dye lots, right, would be different, but I think I am a little bummed at how different they look. I don't know. We'll see how it goes once I start stitching with it. So the next project that I worked on, that I had done as a summer start and worked on for like the very beginning of summer, and then again haven't really stitched much. Oh, I'm forgetting fabric again. The Patriotic Quaker was also a 14 count Aida that I coffee tea dyed. And then, so the next one is Fairy Garden by Blackbird Designs. And I'm doing this one on Charles Craft 28 count tea dyed Irish linen. That is a mouthful, but it is a really fun stitch. I'm doing this one for a Sal. Again, Katie the Novel Stitcher started this as, I think, I don't remember the hashtag because it's been so long. I'll put it on the screen. Well, no, I'm not good at putting words on the screen. I'll put it down below. I'll put it in the description, the hashtag for the Fairy Garden. I think it was like any garden, stitched on any garden pattern for the summer. But she was doing this one, and I thought it was really pretty. So I'm doing the DMZ conversion for this one. So it's all the called for, but like not the fancy floss called for, the DMC conversion that they give you. So that's Fairy Garden. And I've realized I like having a linen stitch. I just really enjoy the mix of Lugana and linen and Aida, and I get bored easily, so it's nice having a variety of fabrics to stitch on. The next one is called Fall in Love, and it is from the autumn 2024 issue of Just Cross Stitch. And this is what theirs looks like. And I changed, again, because it's me, this is typically what, well, I guess, no, I was gonna say it's typically what I do. I change colors. For small ones like this, I will change colors to what I have in stash because I'm cheap. But for the bigger ones, or ones that I just don't have a good assortment, then I will buy the floss. This is my progress on Fall in Love. And I found this big batch of white Aida in the basement, like back in the spring, and I thought, let me try coffee tea dyeing it, and I followed Priscilla and Chelsea. They have a tutorial, which I'll try to link below, for coffee tea dyeing fabric, and so I tried it on the Aida, and I really liked it. I didn't really like the smell of it, to be honest. Like, the whole house smelled like instant coffee. My family wasn't too thrilled, but I really like the fabric, and the fabric itself doesn't really have a smell to it, so that's okay. but that's Fall in Love. All DMs, no, actually that's not true. This was the leftover Onyx from Strawberry Friends. This was Pelican Gray, I think, and then a couple DMCs. Again, if you want to know the exact threads that I used, feel free to let me know in the comments and I will let you know. But that's Fall in Love. And then the last one that I've been working on is Midnight Crafter, which I have the digital pattern, so I'll put a picture here of what it looks like. And I am using all the called for DMCs for this one. And the fabric, what fabric am I using? Fiber on a Whim. It's Fiber on a Whim, and I don't remember the name of it. But it's a really pretty, like, dark mottled blue. So that's my progress on Midnight Crafter. And those are my whips. I think I'm gonna keep working on all of them. Like I said, the Patriotic Quaker, I think I will try that, working on the 4th of each month, and see how that goes, see if I like doing something like that. And then the other ones, let's see. I think I want to try to get Fall in Love and Fairy Garden finished in October, which seems very reasonable. I don't have a whole lot left to go on either one of them. And maybe fully finish in October. If not October, maybe November. And then the Midnight Crafter, that one is one that I pull out and work on now and then. So it's been fun to work on it since we're in the spooky season, but I don't know if I'll keep working on it. Like, I'll pick it up now and then, and I enjoy it. It's the fiber, like the fabric is really, really soft, and I find I actually don't love that. It's beautiful and it's soft to the touch, which is nice, but for stitching, it makes it hard to like have my stitches be even. Maybe it's because I'm newer. I mean, I've been cross stitching since I was a kid, but not really regularly cross stitching until the past couple years. So it could be that I'm just not good, or I pull too tight. I'm a tight knitter too. I tend to pull too tight. So it's hard to not have like little gaps in the fabric in the stitches. So I don't know if I would work on that again, but all that to say, it's a fun whip, but I don't think I'd buy the fabric again. It's just not my favorite. So those are my whips. Okay, knitting and crochet. Like I said, if knitting and crochet isn't your thing, no worries. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around and seeing all my cross stitching. I hope to see you in the next one, or see you in the comments. I love it when we get to chat a little bit in the comments. So please feel free to leave a comment. Also, if you want to watch knitting and crochet, thank you for sticking around. The first finish, I'm just gonna do finishes of knitting and crochet. I guess I'll talk very briefly. I have whips, 3 whips. I have the Scrappy Granny blanket. It's just granny squares out of fingering weight leftovers. That's coming along. I think I'm maybe 2/3 of the way done with the squares. And that's a nice long slow whip. I've been working on that for years, so I'll keep working on that. I have a sweater that I'm working on and a pair of socks. I tend to like having a pair of socks on the go at all times, but they can take anywhere from like a few weeks to a few months to even a couple years sometimes. I don't know what it is. I just like having a pair of socks on the go. So the first one that I have to show you is a pair of socks. I made these for my husband, which is fun that we've learned he likes knit socks. So this doesn't look so attractive because they've been worn and washed and worn and washed. I finished these, when did I finish these? In September, but they've already gotten a lot of love. It is the Slip It Simple sock, and the yarn that I used was from Granite Mountain. It's on my Ravelry page if you're interested. you can find me Amy M Makes on Ravelry or Instagram as well. I'll put a picture of these socks here when they were like new and blocked and they looked nicer, but finish for knitting number 1. And then also in September I finished, I think you say it Noni, N-O-N-I. If I'm not saying that right and you know how to say it, please let me know in the comments so that I can learn. But I finished the Noni top and I loved stitching this one and I love wearing it. It's really light. I think it's Valley Yarns fingering weight. It's a merino, silk, and nylon blend. And so here is the Noni top. It's really cool. So even on really hot days, it's a great wear. And I'll put a picture of me wearing it. Well, first I'll put a picture of what the pattern looks like here. And then I will put a picture of me wearing it. So you'll have both. But that is my other finish for knitting. And then I showed you, I don't know which one I showed you, but I finished two pillows. 2 Astrid pillows. And these were really fun to make. I loved making these. I gave you more info and details on these pillows on my last Flosstube, which I know was forever ago, but you can either look on my Ravelry page or maybe the last Flosstube. I give more information, but the yarn I know is just Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton yarn, and I forget what size pillow insert I got because I got the wrong one, and then I had to switch them out and get a smaller one. So I think 16-inch, but I'm not sure. But I say on the last Flosstube what size these were. But I love them. They're super cute. Super fun to make. So those are my finished objects for knitting and crochet. Maybe next time I film a Flosstube, I will do whips, because I don't know if I'll have any finishes, so I will probably just wait on whips so you don't see the same projects over and over. Maybe you don't care, but I think that's what I'll do, is I'll just leave it at whips for knitting and crochet for next Flosstube, and we'll see what state they're in. I have a bit of the knitting bug back, but I'm really enjoying cross stitch most right now, so it's probably more of what I'll be doing. So anyway, I think that is it. If you have any questions or yeah, anything you'd like to know, let me know. It'd be fun to answer your questions. Again, I'm just so appreciative of you all taking the time to spend. I know time is in short supply, and I appreciate you spending some with me. So thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful time crafting whatever crafty things you're up to, and I will see you in the next one.